All right, so I'm going to try this one more time. This is my third time trying this. We're looking at Quarterly One, and here we go. Good luck. Number one, in a scientific investigation, what is the control group used for? Is it used for A, comparison, B, observation, C, experimentation, or D, condensation? In a scientific investigation, what is the control group used for? Number two, which variable in an experiment does the person doing the experiment change? Do they change A, the dependent variable, B, the independent variable, C, the control, or D, the hypothesis? Which variable in an experiment does the person doing the experiment change? Number three, a student is using a metal wire to cook hot dogs on a campfire. Which statement best explains why the hot dogs feel hot after several minutes? A, heat is transferred from the fire to the hot dog by conduction. B, heat is transferred from the fire to the hot dog by radiation. C, hot air from the fire is circulated by conduction. Or D, hot air from the fire is circulated by radiation. Which statement best explains why the hot dog feels hot after several minutes? Number four, which of the following forms of energy is released most during the roller coaster ride? A, light energy, B, electrical energy, C, sound energy, or D, nuclear energy? Which of the following forms of energy is released most during a roller coaster ride? Number five, which of the pictures below illustrates the transformation of electrical to thermal energy? Which of the pictures below illustrates the transformation of electrical to thermal energy? Number six, the purpose of a nuclear power plant is to transform nuclear energy into electricity. This is done in steps starting with a nuclear reaction which generates heat to produce steam. The steam in turn is used to turn a generator which finally produces electricity. Which answer best illustrates these energy transformations? 1. Nuclear to mechanical to chemical to electrical. B. Thermal to nuclear to mechanical to electrical. C. Mechanical to thermal to nuclear to electrical. Or D. Nuclear to thermal to mechanical to electrical. The steps are the nuclear action, which generates heat to produce steam. The steam in turn is used to turn a generator, which finally produces electricity. Which answer best illustrates these energy transformations? Number 7. What tool is used to measure the volume of a liquid? A graduated cylinder, B, a balance, C, a computer, or D, a stopwatch? What tool is used to measure the volume of a liquid? Number 8. When a handheld fan is turned on, the blades spin. Which diagram shows the energy conversions that is required to make the fan work? A, chemical to electrical to kinetic. B, electrical to chemical to light. C, chemical to electrical to light. Or D, electrical to chemical to kinetic? Which diagram shows the energy conversions that is required to make the fan work? Number 9. The density of 4 different woods are shown below. Wood sample densities. Type of wood. Density in grams per centimeter cubed. African teakwood, 0.98. Balsa, 0.14. Cedar, 0.55. Ironwood, 1.23. Which wood will sink when placed in a fluid with a density of 1.14 grams per centimeter cubed? A, African teakwood. B, balsa. C, cedar. D, ironwood. Which wood will sink when placed in a fluid with a density of 1.14 grams per centimeter cubed? Number 10. Imagine that you're doing an experiment that requires you to smell the odor of a chemical solution in a beaker. Which procedure should always be followed? A. Pour some of the solution on a paper towel and then sniff the towel. B. Wave or waft towards your nose with your hand. C. Remove your safety goggles before smelling the chemicals. Or D. You should never smell chemicals. Which procedure should always be followed when smelling the odor of a chemical solution in a beaker? Number 11. A student wants to see the volume of a marble. Which instrument should the student use? A student wants to see the volume of a marble. Which instrument should the student use? Number 12. Gordon throws a baseball into the air. It rises, stops when it reaches its greatest height, and then falls back to the ground. At what point does the kinetic energy convert to the potential energy? A. When the baseball is rising. B. When the baseball is falling. C. Just after the baseball hits the ground. Or D. While the baseball is stopped in the air. At what point does the kinetic energy convert to the potential energy? Number 13. When walking across the sand at the beach, what kind of heat transfer is causing your feet to be hot? A. Convection. B. Conduction. C. Radiation. Or D. Meditation. When walking across the sand at the beach, what type of heat transfer is causing your feet to be hot? Number 14. You are conducting an experiment to determine if increased ultraviolet radiation from the decrease in the ozone layer is killing off frog tadpoles. After examining all of the data available in the library, you decide to go with the hypothesis that increased ultraviolet radiation from the sun is killing off the tadpoles. You design an experiment with a control and an experimental group. Group 1 involves 100 tadpoles in a 5-gallon container of water, which is covered by glass, knowing that the glass will filter out the ultraviolet radiation. Group 2 will be set up exactly like Group 1, except that instead of being covered with glass, it is covered with an acrylic plexiglass, which will not filter out the UV radiation. You then place the groups outside for a period of a month and observe the results. Number of tadpoles started with: Group 1, 100, Group 2, 100. Number finished: Group 1, 96, Group 2, 96. What is the independent variable? A, the number of tadpoles. B, the container cover. C, the period of time. Or D, the amount of UV radiation. What is the independent variable? 15. Which of the following questions is testable in the scientific investigation? A, are mice happy when they walk on their wheel? B, are mice better pets than gerbils? C, are mice easier to take care of than gerbils? Or D, are gerbils more active at night than during the day? Which of the following questions is testable in a scientific investigation? Number 16. Which diagram models water changing from a gas state, water vapor, to a liquid state? Which diagram models water changing from a gas state to a liquid state? 17. A scientist performs an experiment that indicates that anti-inflammatory medication can lead to liver failure if they are used on a daily basis. The scientist publishes her results in the scientific journal. What should be done before the scientific community accepts her results as being accurate? A, the head of the scientific community must approve the results before the results can be accepted. B, the results must become a scientific theory before they can be considered correct. C, 3 other journals must publish the scientific report before the results can be considered accurate. Or D, different scientists should repeat the experiment to see if they can get the same results. What should be done before the scientific community accepts her results as being accurate? 18. When water changes from a gas to a liquid, what happens to the energy in the system? A. Energy is gained. B. Energy is lost. C. Energy is transferred. Or D. There is no energy in the system. What happens to the energy in the system? Number 19. A student wants to identify the mineral base on the flow chart. The mineral was silver color, harder than a fingernail, and left black streaks. Based on this flow chart, which mineral could the student have been observing? Graphite, pyrite, galena, or sulfur? The mineral was silver color, harder than a fingernail, and left black streaks. 20. At which point does the roller coaster have the most kinetic energy? Point A, point B, point C, or point D? At which point does the roller coaster have the most kinetic energy? 21 through 24 are matching. Match the word with the correct definition. The words are hypothesis, conclusion, problem, and experiment. The definitions are A, what you will be solving by experimenting, stated as a question. B, a detailed list of steps or procedures used to test the hypothesis. C, an educated guess to what the results of a question will be. Or D, explaining what was found through data collection. And finally, number 25. Sarah wants to know if mice prefer peanut butter over cheese. In what order should she do the following steps? W, write a report on her findings. X, place a bowl of peanut butter and a block of cheese next to each other in a mouse cage. Y, one at a time, place 10 mice in a cage and observe which food they prefer. Z, predict which food the mice will prefer. In what order should she do the following steps? If there are any other ones that you would like me to read, you can raise your hand and I'll come back and I'll read them for you. Or you can rewind and fast forward as you need during this video. Good luck.